In 2019, we decided to open an outlet of our company to sell cheap city electric cars. Several models on the Chinese market were investigated, and Shandong Gaia New Energy Company was decided upon as our first venture. Gaia have many models including GX8, GX8, GEEC, G-Vans, IQ, GEU5, P7, A-Ions, R1, 3XE, M5, 3TC. After much discussion with Gaia, we looked at the models of GX8. There are two: an old model and a new model. Apart from several body styling changes, the new model has a normal gear shift lever as compared to a rotary knob on the old model. It also has side steps, which were missing from the old model, a redesigned dashboard, and a proper surround for the radio, as compared to the rather industrial-looking, black metal surround of the old model. We sent Gaia's own advertising photos of the new model to them, and discussed the requirements in detail with the salesperson on WhatsApp. The car would take 15 days to produce, and in all around 3 weeks to deliver. None of this was true. When the car arrived, it was the old model. It had taken 3 months to arrive at the seaport in our country. Apart from being the incorrect model, the electric motor was 3.5 kilowatts, instead of the 4 kilowatt motor advertised by Gaia. The radio did not work. The charging cable was missing. The rear axle was incorrect, meaning that the maximum speed of the car was 40 km per hour, instead of the 55 km per hour advertised by Gaia. The onboard generator did not work. Neither did the solar roof panel. The radio antenna had been removed, and the loudspeakers for the radio were fastened together under the dashboard by one screw, instead of being fitted into their correct locations inside the doors. The tracking of the front wheels was out of line, quickly wearing out the outside of the front tires in only a few kilometers. What manufacturer can provide not only the incorrect model, but also turn out such a badly produced and untested vehicle, especially to a new dealership? Once you have your car, hopefully, the one you ordered, there remains the most important part of buying any car: service from the manufacturer. Especially if the car is from a different country to the one where it's being used. Any spares needed will most likely have to come from that country. This presents 4 problems. First, are the spares available? Second, how long will it take to get those spares? Third, how much will the cost of transportation be via air, land or sea? Finally, and the most important, how reliable is the company you are dealing with? In the case of Gaia, who advertise that immediate help is available from them online, we found that reality is a very long way from what they advertise. As we said earlier, they sent the old model instead of the model which we were at pains to verify with them. Having received the incorrect model, there was no way that they were going to rectify their mistake. This car should have been replaced with the correct model. Over a period of 2 years, messages went back and forward about the incorrect motor fitted to the car, the faulty radio, missing charging cable, incorrect rear axle ratio, etc. The outcome of all of this is that although a replacement motor, charging cable, and radio have been forthcoming, nothing at all has been done about the incorrect model, or axle ratio, and therefore, speed of the car, and speedometer indication. The incorrect axle makes speedometer readings wildly inaccurate. During this time, Gaia have made only one offer. Whilst they accepted in writing that they are aware that they are responsible for this problem, and that it exists on a number of cars. They will only supply the correct parts and delivery from China, at our expense. A new problem which came about was a broken windshield glass. Despite more than 6 weeks of messaging between Gaia and ourselves, we have not yet been able to get even a price from them for the glass, and most importantly, the cost of transportation from China. During these past 2 years, service has been extremely bad and unstable. The lady who sold us the car has been replaced 3 times, each one of which has had to relearn the problems we have, which has taken weeks. We are not their only customer with similar problems. We have learned from Gaia themselves that other customers have been told by Gaia's employees that they are the company owners, and the customers have said that if that is the case, they will no longer deal with Gaia. The radio antenna was completely absent from the car, and the antenna cable was disconnected and coiled up under the dashboard. The rubber gaiters on the steering rack, designed to keep out dirt and prevent premature wear, were torn and disintegrating. The solar panel wasn't working, and provided no charge to the batteries. The auxiliary generator fitted to the car would not start. This was later found to be a faulty carburetor. One of the daytime running lights was not working, and proved to be a faulty connection inside the headlight. When asked why there was no radio antenna, we were told by Gaia that it had been removed to fit the solar panel on the roof. No thought was given to the possibility that someone might want to listen to the radio. Due to a missing link in the mechanism, one of the rear doors could not be opened from the outside, and the handle mechanism was broken. The larger fuel tank ordered for the generator had not been fitted. The handbrake did not work, as the ratchet teeth on the handle didn't line up with the teeth on the floor-mounted part. Window rubber seals had been badly fitted and protruded from the doors, around the door glasses. On first attempt to raise the car with the jack provided, it collapsed due to weakness and poor quality. There is no possible way that this car had been tested and quality checked before dispatch. If it was, then this reflects extremely badly on Gaia themselves. Now 2 years after purchasing the car, we are able to see how it has stood up to a fairly small amount of use. Externally, the car has suffered. The paintwork is still bright, but in some places, has begun to change color. Around the headlights, the paint on the plastic front has begun to blister, and in some areas around the grille, it has started to flake off altogether. The headlights themselves have deteriorated quite badly on the upper surfaces, and become opaque, and quite rough to the touch. The rear lights have become dull and opaque. In general, there are no signs of rust, and the alloy wheels are in excellent condition. All doors work smoothly and close easily, but the door glasses rattle excessively when the doors are closed. Internally, the seats are beginning to come apart at the seams, due, it would appear, to very thin seating material of poor quality. Chromium-plated parts are losing their plating, simply from use and daily handling. What were chromium flash-plated plastic handles are now showing the white plastic under the plating. One door handle has also snapped off. There have been no problems reported with the home charging system, but as mentioned earlier, the onboard generator didn't work. The generator is very noisy in operation, being a single-cylinder engine, but has been able to keep the batteries fully charged during an extended run over a partially mountainous route. Gaia Online service is promoted for their cars, but we can review only our own experiences. Those were an initial attempt to fix some of the problems when the car was first received, but since then, no help at all. Only the offer to replace the incorrect axle gears, but only if we paid for them and their carriage. Where was the Gaia 2-year warranty which Gaia advertises? There has been no other attempt by Gaia to follow up on after-sales service, despite the problems referred to them during this time, although they have tried to sell us further cars. It is fair to say that so far as after-sales service is concerned, Gaia has provided none at all since the first couple of months. This so-called after-sales service makes a sham of Gaia advertising across their whole product range. After all, after-sales service, or the lack of it, must apply to all their models, not just one.